Hello and welcome to Cloud Perceptor channel. Today we'll be doing a hands-on training on NAT Gateway. So let's first understand what is NAT Gateway. So NAT Gateway enables instance in Private Subnet to connect to Internet or other AWS services to prevent the Internet from initiating a connection with those instances. So how NAT works? A NAT device has an elastic IP address and is connected to the Internet through an Internet gateway. When we connect an instance in private subnet through the NAT device, which routes traffic from instance to the internet gateway and routes any response to the instance. NAT maps multiple private IPv4 addresses to a single public IPv4 address. So these are some of the advantages of NAT gateway. So NAT gateway is a highly available, but we need it as per availability zone. Can scale up to 45 Gbps and it's fully managed by AWS. These are some of the important points you need to remember while creating your NAT gateway. So make sure you select public subnet in your custom VPC. For NAT gateway to work, it needs an elastic IP. Okay. This is this is how the NAT gateway needs to be configured. So this is my VPC. Okay. I have one private subnet and a public subnet. So my private subnet is having an EC2 instance. Okay. Now this EC2 instance contains, let's say, a database, Oracle or any other database. So this Oracle database needs, let's say, this needs some updates. Okay. So in order to get the updates, we need to configure a NAT gateway on public subnet, and this NAT gateway will connect to the internet using internet gateway and get the updates. Okay. So this is how the uh, rough configuration is. Let's do a hands-on session. Let's log into the AWS Management Console and let's create a NAT gateway. So follow me along with the demo. All right, I'm logged into my AWS Management Console. I will click on VPC first. So I have a default VPC over here. Let's open that. Yeah, this is my default VPC. Let's look at the subnets. Three subnets over here. Let me look at the route table for this. This is a public subnet. Okay, okay, let me just remove this. I already have a NAT gateway configured, so I'm just deleting it from my route table. Okay, just to show you how exactly it works from the scratch. Right, so I'll just remove this, save changes. Also delete the NAT gateway over here. Here, okay. They'll be creating everything from the scratch. This must be there because I did a live demo yesterday. Okay, all right, so we are back. As you can see, this is my private subnet. Okay, other two are public subnets, so I'll just name this one as public one, net A, and this is my public subnet B. Okay. Okay, private subnet A, I'll name it something like this. All right, so since this is the private subnet, this is what we are going to use for our NAT gateway. Okay, so what we need to do is let's create a NAT gateway. Okay, so you will find the NAT gateway option under virtual private cloud. Click on that, create a new one. Under subnet, I'll be using the the public subnet. Okay, Remember, the NAT gateway needs to be created only in public subnet. It will allow you to create in the private subnet, but if if your task is to enable internet connectivity for your private uh, subnet instances, then it's not gonna work if you create it in the private sub. Okay, connectivity tab will keep it as a public. Elastic IP, we already have one, so I'm gonna use that. In case you don't have any elastic IP, you can click on allocate elastic IP button. It's gonna allocate a new IP. Okay, so we have created our NAT gateway. Now it's time to route our private subnet traffic to this NAT gateway. Okay, so under route table, click on route table. We have a private ARTB already there. Just need to define a route over here. In case you don't have any route table defined, if you are using a default VPC and subnet, there will be only one route table, which is the default route table, which is allocated to your private subnet, this subnets. Okay, so you must create a new route table and associate with that. So here we'll be adding a route. Destination is all, and we'll be selecting NAT gateway. My NAT gateway. This is the one which we created. Click on save, and here we are good to go. Next task is to create a EC2 instance, okay, in the public subnet. So I'll be creating my public instance, okay. Okay, right. Linux, everything is good. Default key pair, I'll be selecting EFS instances one. In case you don't have any key pair, you can click on create new key pair. Security group, maybe let me see if I have the private EC2 SD. I already have this, so I'll be keeping it as a default. No, sorry, we are creating a public one. So let me see if I have public instances SD. Okay, good. 8 gigabyte GP2, that's fine. All right, looks like all other options are correct. Let me look at the networking part. Networking is looking good. Okay, click on launch instance. Okay, and this is in the public subnet. Okay, public security group, and let me look at the public subnet, public subnet A. Okay, we are good. Let's launch a similar instance in the private subnet. Okay, click on launch more like this. I'm going to change the name of this to private. Okay, once this gets done, everything is looking good. No key pair. Here for the instances, auto assign IP. Subnet will be using the private subnet over here. We don't need auto assign IP, public IP, so we'll be disabling that. And of course, the security group will be for the private EC2SC. I'll show you the details in this security group so that you can understand how it works exactly. Okay. Then click on launch instance. Click on view all instances. Should get launched in a jiffy. Okay, I'm pausing this video until this instance boots up. All right. So now we both the instances are booted up and status check shows as passed. What we are gonna do is, first of all, we are gonna add our key in the pageant. Okay. Let me open that pageant. Click on pageant. There is no UI for this, so you need to right click on it and click on show keys, view keys. We don't have any keys, so what I'm gonna do is I will add a key over here. Okay, so I've added a key over here. After adding this key, you can close it. Next step is to connect to this public instance. Okay, but before that, I would like to show you the routes of public instance, public subnet. Sorry. Okay, so if you look at the routes, it is connected to the internet gateway. Okay, let me show you that route table. If you look at the routes, it is connected to the internet gateway. Okay, and now our NAT gateway is also in public subnet. So NAT gateway can access the internet. Okay. Apart from that, our private subnet traffic, if you look at the route table of the private subnet, it is getting redirected to the NAT gateway. Okay. And let's look at the security groups. Okay, private and public. Click on security groups. And here we have the security group of the private. Let's look at the inbound rules. So inbound we have SSH and ICMP. Looks good. And the public one. Okay. Public instances. Okay. So this one is having SSH and ICMP. Okay, same. Okay. But one thing, let me just show you one thing. Okay. Just copy the security group ID of this, and one rule is missing over here. That needs edit inbound rules. Okay, SSH, right? It should be this security group. Okay, just a second. Okay, so the reason why it was not working is, what I did is, you need to delete this, click on save. Okay, again you need to edit this. Okay, edit the inbound rules and add a rule for SSH and the security group ID of your public instance. Okay. So once this gets done, what we'll do is we'll try to connect to the EC2 instance of our public instance. Let's grab the ID, open your putty. All right, so this is my putty. I have opened it. Under auth, you need to select your private PPK file. Okay. Apart from that, you need to select the allow agent forwarding, and this is the IP I'm gonna use for my public instance. Okay, EC2-user @ and click on open. Click on yes, and we are authenticating. Okay, so this looks good. What we are trying to do now is we'll connect to the private instance from the public instance. Okay, SSH user the IP of your private instance. Click on OK, click on yes, and here we go. We are successfully connected to our private instance. Okay. Now what we are trying to do is we'll be issuing a ping command to google.com. As you can see, we are getting the response. Okay, so that means it is successfully connected to the internet. So that's the benefit. Like, just in case you have any updates for your OS or for your database. Uh, See, this provides an additional level of security. Okay, this instance is not at all accessible from your from internet. Okay, but you can access internet from inside the instance. So that's what makes it doubly secured, and that's an additional level of security. Okay, you can still use Bastion host, but I will prefer using NAT Gateway because NAT Gateway is something, you know, which is managed fully by AWS. Of course, in a production environment, you need to ensure that your NAT gateway is residing in other availability zones to provide high availability. Okay, so that's it for today's session. Thanks for watching this video. Let's clean up the resources for now. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'll be first terminating the instance. Okay, terminate your instances. It will take time to shut down. Next is you should remove the NAT gate. Okay, under VPC, the NAT gateway needs to be deleted. Okay, both the I think I deleted the one. Let me delete the other one. Okay, click on delete. It's getting deleted. All right. Next step is to uh, delete the route table, private RTB. So what I'm going to do is I'll switch back my subnet, okay, which is the private subnet to use the route table of the, but let me keep it as it is. That's fine. You won't be incurring any cost. And of course, one more thing, right? The IP, elastic IPs. As you can see, the elastic IPs, there are two allocated. Okay. I don't need, see, if you are not, see, AWS provides elastic IP, unelastic IP free, but if you are not using it, you will incur some charges. Okay. So it's better to deallocate the IP so that others can use it. So let me release this one. Release elastic IP. Okay. So this is the default one which is already allocated. So we release this one as well. So we are good now. We don't have any elastic IPs. We won't be incurring any other cost. Okay. So yeah. Okay. We have one private route table. Let's keep it as it is. Let's see if our instances got terminated. Yep, they are terminated. So that's it. Don't forget to clean up your resources, otherwise you will incur charges. So that's it for today's session. Do like and subscribe my channel. Do let me know your comments. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.